Hello, citizens. It is I, Super Bloom. Yeah, that's kind of my hero name. If you could think of a better one, please put it in the comments below. Unless you like Super Bloom. I don't really care either way. Anyway, today I just want to talk about this whole challenge of Plants vs. Zombies Heroes. Let's talk about the start. What is Plants vs. Zombies Heroes? If you don't know how it works, Plants vs. Zombies Heroes isn't your normal tower defense game like Plants vs. Zombies 1 or Plants vs. Zombies 2. Plants vs. Zombies Heroes is more of a card game instead, where you get to draw cards per turn, and there's like 3 types of cards: environment, tricks, and your main attacking cards. You can have a deck up to like 40 cards, and I don't really know how much to explain it, but there's also a story mode on here, like any other plant games. But the story mode isn't taking the form of like a comic strip, like one of those superhero comics. So that's just what we're going to do now. This is Plants vs. Zombies Heroes with only flower cards. If you're wondering how I'm going to work with this, well, first let's talk about like a couple of issues with this. Actually, there's only one issue. I kind of already played some of this game before. Like, I made it through like the first comic strip and halfway to the second one. Part is, unlike in Plants vs. Zombies 1 and 2, you can't redo them for some reason. I don't know why. They really should make that an option to be able to redo some of the story. But that doesn't matter now. What matters is that I kind of figured out a solution to that. Although you can't redo the story of the comics again, if you were able to complete the story of the comics, they will let you do them again a second time. But only that second time. Why? I have no idea. But that's what I'm going to do. For the comic that I already did without doing a flower challenge on, I would just do it again later, once I unlock the ability to do it again. And I'm pretty sure the only one that I didn't get to do a flower challenge on is the Imp one. So right now we're just going to continue on the skip the first comic strip and do the second half of this comic strip. And you might be wondering, well, how are you going to repay for the first half of the comic strip that you did? Well, that's another simple yet a bit tedious task, is by doing a random mode or a random match option. You see, there's like a random match option in like the story mode, so I could just do 2 random matches, win in those, and I'm pretty sure that'd be enough for me to like repay for what I did. So yeah, I think. Please don't be mad at me or upset at me for doing some of the comic strips without the flower challenge. Anyway, time to go over the rules. Rule number 1, I'm only allowed to use Plants vs. Zombies Heroes that are flowers, being Solar Flare, Rose, and Chompzilla. So yeah. And rule number 2, I'm only allowed to use flower cards, or cards that are related to flowers. So what counts as a card that's a flower? Simple. See, in Plants vs. Zombies Heroes, there's different types of plants that are categorized as. Not just based on what class they're in, but also what type of plant they are, which makes it easy to tell if a plant is a flower plant. But if the plant is based off like a flower, or is somewhat of a flowering plant, then it also counts as a flower, I guess. And also, if like for trick cards, if it can conjunct a flower, then that works. If a vitamin can give me a sunflower, then that also works too. And if a trick card has a literal flower on it, whether it's like an actual flower or just an image of a sunflower, then I guess that also counts too. But let's go to the most important question. What if a flower trick or a flower itself conjuncts a non-flower plant? Like, for example, Mayflower and this thing. Well, if it conjuncts a non-flower card, then I allow it. You see, in the live stream I did with the tier list with Maxi Lucky, and when I talked about how Hazel Flower kind of, well, turns a zombie to a mushroom, which kind of destroys the one, he actually defended it, saying that, well, technically we aren't planting the mushrooms. Hazel Flower is. Which Hazel is. And I was like, I guess I never thought about it like that. Here's the clip, by the way. Yeah. Next up, we got Witch Hazel. And to be honest, I would say this flower is the absolute worst for me. Hear me out on this. Hear me out. Its ability is to turn a zombie into a mushroom. And you know what's the point of doing a plant for the zombies only one for? To only use flower plants. So this plant is literally, purposely sabotaging a flower one, by making us use mushroom plants. Literally, its plant food is turning it into a zombie, into a toadstool. A toadstool! So I would put this in like a trash flower. If you're
Actually, the rules say that we're only allowed to plant flowers. Never says anything that the flowers have to follow our rules.
Actually, you do have a point there. But most of the mushrooms are pretty... So, after that logic, if a flower plant conjuncts a non-flower card, we are allowed to use it. It's just... yeah, that's it. We are allowed to use it. You may think that there isn't really much of a downside on it, and you're right. I guess the only downside is that it's kind of random for what non-flower plant card it can draw. And I guess there's the only 2 cards that can conjunct a non-flower card. So, yeah. I don't know. I just want to use Mayflower. Anyway, so by that logic, those are the only rules. And oh wait, actually, the third rule. After each comic, we had to rotate to a different hero. Because I want to be able to use all the flower heroes, give them all a chance. I think you have like going to Rose, then Solar Flare, then Chompzilla, then back to Rose. But the order might change over time. It depends if I can remember the order or not. So yeah, that's probably all the rules I could think of. And yeah. Anyway, enjoy my gameplay. Incoming transmission from Crazy Days. Subject, Rust Bucket. I think I made a time machine from Junkyard once. Or I will. Time is crazy. Now Rust Bucket is searching for the spare parts to amp up his armor. Time to toss him out of this junkyard. Okay, let's start this battle. Okay, cards look pretty good. Just gonna change those 3. Now let's start this challenge battle deck card thing. First we find the first zombie that comes along because why not? And they play 2 zombies with glasses. Okay, so I'm just gonna place a flower here. And okay. Also, I don't know much of these flowers' names because, well, there's a lot of them. So I'm just going to place a Mayflower here. Also, fun fact, I really like Mayflower because when I was young, I really liked this plant because of its ability to, like, conjunct any kind of, like, card that I want. Actually, not really want, just any kind of card, like either a corn, bean, or corn, bean, or what else can it conjunct? A squash, yeah. A corn, bean, or squash card. which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, back to this. I plan to build flower and a bloomerang, turn that zombie into a goat, and already half of my HP is almost gone, and yeah, this isn't really good. Just gonna place the sunflower here for protection. And here's where I looks like I'm about to lose because I'm low on health. Like 5 pieces of health. But this is when I turn my gamer brain on. Because I am not losing this round. Freeze you so you get to destroy my bean guy. So my bean guy can heal me thanks to the environment is on. Yeah, plant a bloomerang there. Plant the 3 walnuts there. And also, yes, it's a flower for some reason. I don't know why it's categorized as a flower, but it is. I think it's just the pom-poms it has. Get the heal from the environment. Tank those 2 zombies. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna tell you what's going on for extra, like, to make sure it doesn't look like make sure it doesn't sound boring, I guess. And now for the unstoppable combo. Artichoke plus Venus flytrap environment equals infinite healing and infinite damage. Okay, draw a card. Place the 3 walnuts there. Mayflower there. My opponent gets like a buff. That doesn't matter because I am going to win. Heck yeah! 1 down, 5 more to go, baby. Okay, time to start this round. Randomize you. And place a flower right here. The zombie plays a trick to summon that thing, I guess. I'm just gonna turn that to a goat because I know how PE it can be by boosting every single zombie 1+1. They play a science space zombie, I guess. Which destroyed my flower. Place a galaxy sunflower, which is probably one of my favorite flowers because not only can junk the flower, but also can give them strike through. The ultimate flower for this deck, which I don't have much of for some reason. Strange how I got more Mayflowers than Galaxy flowers. I guess it shows that how much I really like Mayflower. Anyway, gonna place that flower. What's it called again? Necro flower. No, hazel flower. I was thinking of a necro zombie or something. Anyway, place the cheerleading nuts there, and it turns that zombie into a mushroom attack. Turn that zombie to a mushroom. Thank goodness. And okay, place Mayflower here, so I can draw some cards. Turn that into a 1x1 zombie. And give it a legendary squash. Fun fact, when I decided to do a little theory, we're happy if I use the legendary squash, which makes my hero fill a shield thing all the way up. I want to see what happens if I don't have any shields. It apparently does absolutely nothing. Could have assumed that. Oh well. Anyway, get that zombie turned into a mushroom. And use the dragon fruit because it deals a lot of damage and also makes trick cards more expensive for my opponents. get the beans guy from the Mayflower. Snap the environment there. Do that. Strike the flower there. Rainbow flower, I guess. Attack my opponent and get healed. They play a scientist zombie, which is very annoying. Until I use like the water balloons. And 3, 2, 1, and oh, come on, not a shield. Okay, they draw their cards, which is pretty annoying. But now there's only like one. They only have like 3 HP. And I'm gonna do the funniest thing ever. Yeah, just gonna use Bloomerang. Oh no, you're gonna use Dance Zombies. What shall I ever do? Oh no, not my environment. Boomerang has strike through enough, which can strike through zombies and hit the hero, which gives me the W, baby. Let's go! Okay, let me try reading this comic. Suit activated 1010111. Blasty Thaney 11011. Yikes, what's bullet strength ray is big and probable. Lao Splatter deployed. Don't let him belittle the plant heroes. Okay, so for this one, there's gonna be 2 roofs instead of 1, which technically aren't roofs, but they're considered roofs, despite being like a couple of barrels, some wooden planks, and tire wheels. But they count as roofs for some reason. Anyway, place a Mayflower and Sunflower there. I get to use this bean guy, which apparently when you transform a zombie to a different zombie, it count as the bean for a zombie being plant there. Unless it gains 1+1 when a zombie uses a trick card. Oh, I thought, never mind. I thought it was like a plant that gains 1+1 when a zombie places a plant in front of it, but no, it only gets 1+1 when a zombie uses a trick card. Anyway, sadly my Mayflower has 0 health because of that stupid zombie, the weed killer zombie. Anyway, I place a bloom right there, and now there's like a bucket and the zombie that gains 1+1 when you place a plant in front of it. I guess that's what I was thinking when I saw the bean flower. Anyway, turn that zombie into a goat because I thought that would be annoying to deal with. Turn that plant into that because, yes, it's a flower because of the head flower on it. And also because Mayflower sadly has no way attacking because now its attack power is 0. Yeah, that's why I'm probably going to call it attack power. Anyway, place a healing environment here. Okay, that's probably going to be annoying. Get healed. And sadly Rose died. And they used that trick. Okay, that's another annoying card. Get healed. Use the dragon, which Bruce makes the tricks very expensive. Destroy that zombie. And there's no way of you hurting my... you just placed a bunch of those on basic zombies. And get destroyed, baby! Let's go! Okay, next zombie is the witch zombie. I don't know what the name is, and I'm not going to search it up. I had to decide on which cards to flip. Yeah, that was kind of a simple decision. And, okay, they finally do something. I plant a rose there. They attack, I attack. And you send out the ghost blanket zombie, which I'm just gonna turn into a goat because, let's face it, when you defeat that zombie, it transforms into it draws a ghost zombie, which has a lot more health. So I'm just gonna, do that. I use Galaxy Flower to get myself a new flower plant. They send in Space Zombie. Find the tricks. Let's see, I'm just gonna plant this, which doesn't do a lot of damage. They destroy my flower, and now it's just just up to Sonic Boom to like take them down, and that's a lot of zombies. Just gonna place a sunflower here for extra sun. They summon a zombie there, which is that. Probably should transform the space zombie, especially since it now become that legendary zombie. The brains giver zombie or whatever it's called. Transform into that legendary zombie, which when you play as a scientist card, it transforms to a different zombie, any random zombie, I guess. But that's probably not gonna matter because all this healing is gonna bring me back to 20 HP, and my opponent's now at 3. Send out Mayflower, use Mayflower because, well, I love Mayflower. Get immediately attacked by that thing. Chicken dinner causes all the zombies to get 1+1. That doesn't matter. Oh great, now what? Okay, that was a funny glitch. But it didn't matter much since I'm just gonna. Okay, now they're just planting random stuff, and you could have. Yeah, at this point I got the W, baby. Let's go! Okay, gotta make sure I'm recording. Okay, just gonna switch out that flower with a different one. And now my opponent... And now this is the boss battle. Immediately freeze that, which I probably shouldn't have, but oh well. I get to draw the Brussels sprout, which is artichoke, which is a amazing flower plant. I get to plant a Mayflower there, and oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is when things get a bit tricky, because despite me having like a decently well advantage in some certain cards, like getting the card that I need to do the infinite healing and damage strategy until I have like max HP. That doesn't mean that he can't do something like this and this, which sucks terribly, like a lot. And I get to do something, but I get to do something like this, so I turn the zombie into that. Use main flower to heal me, thanks to the environment. They get a bucket head, which is going to be very annoying. Especially when it destroys my Mayflower. but I get some sun thanks to sunflowers and the environment that creates sunflower, which I'm allowing for this challenge because it gives me sunflower. And Artichoke could just help me out with the infinite heal strategy, which works until they get full shields, either 2 or 3 shields instead of 1, which can be a bit annoying. So I'm just gonna use like Dragon Fruit so it can be easier for me to, and they immediately wasted all their brains to use one trick that instantly destroys it, and now my artichoke is gone. This is not going well, especially when I don't have enough attacking flowers. Like the only flower that I have that can attack is this one, which is gonna be very annoying. Got some heals out, and got another sunflower for extra sun, which would be perfect. It wouldn't be the fact that I don't have any extra tagging plants. So after some thought and thinking, and some more thinking, and a lot more thinking, I'm just gonna skip my turn, and place my artichoke right here. Place the bloomerang there. Strike through does his thing. Do the infinite heal strat, which the zombie was able to block in like 2 turns because of the big shields it gets. Immediately go for Galaxy Flower, which, okay, I can draw 2 more flower cards. Okay, I got like the Cheering Walnuts and an extra Sunflower. And here we go. Booyah! 1 shield! And we won! Yes! W, baby! Woohoo! I had to read the comic. 1. This is going to hurt.
Well, looky there. A weakness in the Rust Bucket's armor. Who knew that the zombie had such a magnetic personality?
Ba-doom-ts. Thank you all for watching. Sorry we had to skip part 1 of the comics with the imp. Next one we're going to go up against the Yeti zombie. See you all next time in like part 2 or 3 or whatever. And yeah, bye!